Jobber Nation.
Nail in the coffin,
Welcome. You're annoying. Welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR. Here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black. We are back at it, back on the East Coast time. It is still hard adjusting because I am still tired from all the shenanigans from this past weekend. Wrestlemania weekend has come and gone. WrestleMania 39. It is what a time.
Did you enjoy yourself during WrestleMania weekend?
Yeah, no, for the most part, you know, LA I think is just not my cup of tea, like as a city. Shout out to the Black Wrestling Podcast that was out there on the West Coast as well. I don't know. I felt like everything was just spaced out. I didn't get that city feel. Like, no bullshit. Like, every city has their own problems of homelessness. Like, it's every city does. Los Angeles County, though, like, bro, that's a different type of situation. Like, niggas was outside of somebody, like, house sleep. Like, I don't.
Shout out to Vince Steele.
That shit was wild.
You know what's funny? So, the Mattel building was by my hotel.
Okay, yeah.
So, it was like walking distance. Mm-hmm. So, I'm walking. First of all, city birds do not care. Yeah.
No,
like, they have no respect.
A picture almost smacked Mikey in the face at Broadway Junction. He thought I was playing by walking slow, and I was like, see, you know, it got smacked in your face.
So, first things first, I was walking to go to the Mattel building, and I'm walking, and I turn the corner.
Shout out to Michael Bostic.
Like, in the bus show, there's a random homeless guy that's sleeping on it.
Yo.
Like, you know, when the bus, you wait for the bus, they have like a little cover thing.
Yeah.
He was sleeping and I was like, oh shit. He was like, did I scare you? I was like, yes, you did. but it's okay. And I kept them moving. Now, city birds. There was these geese, right?
Geese.
2 geese.
Sounds dangerous.
Or gooses, whatever you want to call them. They were standing in the middle of the street. My Uber driver drives up to them. You think they would fly away or walk away?
Nah,
he just stood there. The Uber driver had to drive around him.
I would have backed and ran over him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, that's killing animals.
Yeah, that sounds of a murderer. You
Yo,
chill the fuck out.
Yo, Earl,
I eat chicken and turkey and meat. We're not doing this. Do not get your high horse about this now.
I don't slaughter them though.
I'm not gonna kill them.
Yeah,
Boy,
I don't have blood on my hands.
If my intention is not to eat the goose, why am I running it over?
Yeah,
because you in my way.
No, technically speaking, we're in their
way.
Their way.
This
Who
is
told
their
you
habitat.
Who told you that?
It's their habitat.
Hippie, right?
We built them over there.
I shouldn't be talking because I'm part of the hippie community.
No, I'm not running over a goose.
You know what? Goose don't do nothing. Now, if it's like a possum, yeah, I'm running you over.
Possums are the most disgusting creatures in the world.
Exactly. So I'll run you over. A possum, yes.
Possums can die.
Yes. I don't give a fuck about
I
you,
don't
possum.
think killing them those.
No, I think possums need to all die.
Yeah.
They're giant rats.
Those that are watching on the live, we thank you so much for joining us once again. If you have not given Facebook your permission, which I understand, please write your name at the end of your comment. But okay, I guess we could start from Thursday night where we had Wrestlemania, so that was pretty dope. Shout out to everyone we had met, like that just walked up to us and said, "Hey." Finally met Alfred, which was to me the dopest thing, like one of the dopest things of the weekend.
Alfred's a whole ass like funny nigga.
Yo,
Who's
I be
Alfred?
trying to tell. Yo, so remember the nigga from Cali that we had on the show that says the most hot take shit in wrestling and everybody hates
dark-skinned
him?
dude?
Yeah.
I don't know these hot takes. He just said his opinions.
Okay, but but that's the point though. So meeting him, he was like, yo, out of everybody, he's like,
Shout out
yo,
to Matt.
I definitely know Janelle from HR. So it was so good to finally meet him and chop it up with him. And like, he's like dead as a fun, like he does comedy,
He's
in LA.
He's a funny nigga.
He's a funny nigga.
So like it was a good time. It was a good time meeting him, but it was also like, I think what you said, it was also good to meet other. So I'm gonna keep it a buck. I have to talk about this. So the first night was the first day I get there. It was the media scrum. Mm-hmm. So it was me doing interviews and shit like that. So I get on my way to him. It's like, ain't gonna be no black people here, son. Mm-hmm. I'm a little tight. But I was like, I'm gonna go here so I understand how to move, and then tomorrow Janelle might come with me. Mm-hmm. So that's the whole point. You get one foot in the door, you bring the whole team with you.
Yep. That's what you do. Say it again.
You bring one foot in the door, you bring the whole team with you.
Oh, okay.
So I get there, right? I walk in, media scrum. I'm just like, I get there early. Supposed to be there at 8. I get there like 7:30.
That's smart.
So I get there. There's this dude named his name was Peter, I think his name was. Nice guy, little Hispanic cat, glasses and everything. He works. He writes for 401 Wrestling.
Okay, I know about that.
So he's there. Me and him chopping it up. I walk into the room. I see, Najee from Big Gold Belt. I said, okay.
Oh, that's my guy there. Okay.
I said, we getting black. Okay, my nigga Najee. Najee came with his cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin doing the camera work. There's this other little black girl there.
Her name is Stephanie. She was from LA.
Stephanie. Then I saw
So is she the Stephanie Hardy brother?
No.
No.
It was another. That's our TK from Women's of Wrestling.
Oh, she fine.
Yeah, TK is a very attractive woman.
Shout out to Earl.
So then
he can't comment on that. She's still fine.
Was I saw him.
Oh shoot, I can't comment on that either.
So then I see that. Then I see a couple more black people. And I was like, oh, the culture in here.
You said that out loud?
Yeah, he probably did. He probably did.
Everybody kind of looked at you weird.
Yeah, and there was a couple of cats in there, and it was like, then I saw Seahawk. He came with Suzette, and it was like, you didn't expect that from WWE at first, like years ago. And ironically, their old PR person is now working for WWE, for AEW now. The guy who's been with WWE for 25 plus years is now with AEW, which is a good thing. So we'll talk about that later. But it was good, like, seeing people that look like us doing the media stuff.
And it was the first time they did that.
Also, like, credit to us, because there was not that much of us back in the day, though.
I can't even. I'm not even gonna credit us.
No. Why don't you not us as a podcast? Us as black people in general. You understand? Like,
but you know the real forefathers in the game, though.
Who?
Will Washington and Cam, and Seahawk.
Who is Will Washington?
He works for he's from Grap City, and I've told this story before, but like, he was one of the first black dudes potting about wrestling.
Oh, him. Okay, I didn't know his name, nothing like that.
Yeah. But he's a lighter cat on the show, and he's one of the
I don't never watch their videos.
He's one of the first people, like, black person to have like their own podcast.
Wow.
Am I the only one that don't be knowing these forefathers?
On yeah, I guess.
Kind of on the podcast side. Then again, no. That's another story.
Yeah.
But be talking to me. I swear, niggas walk right past me and talk to y'all.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Yeah, I was
for a different time. But like Cam has been doing it for a long time. So like, to see that, because when we first started, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago? Right. It wasn't that many black podcasts. That
everybody was kind of, I think, in the beginning phases of like wanting to like do something, but not knowing really how to do it, and that was just like podcasting. I think in general. Like, people was just getting hip to, like, all right, camera, microphone, action. You know what I mean? So I think it's taking some time to get to it.
Shout out to Josiah.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us on.
Smart Psychology Podcast. Thank you so much for showing us so much love out on the West Coast. It was so dope. So, yeah, Thursday night was dope. We had Wrestlemania.
Did you do Roscoe's?
Yeah. Oh, no, hold on. We're going to get through the days. I'm going to tell you. We're going to get through the days. So Thursday night was Wrestlemania. Met up with a lot of people, caught up with a lot of people. So it was really dope. It's always a good vibe. And then Friday morning was when I went with Wilkins and we did the media thing where we had Carmelo Hayes. You know, I talked to Roxanne Perez.
Interviews coming soon.
Where it was super dope. Just to like kind of just be in that space. Like, I met Ariel Hawani, so that was pretty dope. And just kind of like being amongst other media and being amongst other people who love what you love. Like, at the end of the day, everybody that was in Los Angeles, California this weekend all love the same fucking thing.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not even and to have people that look like us is dope.
Yeah, it's
but
huge.
I love what you said when you said it was other people that like what you do. Like, even the other like social media guys who aren't black per se, maybe just white, whatever. It was. They fuck with what we do too. They love wrestling. And then some of them came up to us and was like, yo, I like what you guys are doing over there. You're good shit, blah, blah, blah. And they're not black. And you know, it was a beautiful thing to be around people like Janelle was saying that like wrestling.
No, yeah, because like we've always said this, like, even just growing up, like, it's always been that taboo thing or, like, that thing where you don't really say. It's that secretive thing that you have that you love. And it's, like, it's really dope when you have a weekend just dedicated to the one thing everybody's here for. Like, whether it's you into the deathmatch shit, whether you're into the independent shit, whether you're into the professional wrestling shit, like, whatever it is, it's all still wrestling. And I think that was really the beauty in this past weekend, was everybody was there for a common goal and a common ground. And there were people from all over the world, like Australia. You have people from the UK. You have people from South America. So you just really come together for one thing, and you don't even have to know each other. So I think it's really dope. Are you okay over there?
It was.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an experience. The one thing I didn't really get to enjoy LA.
So Friday, after I had actually dipped from him because I did the tour thing. So I went on a tour of LA because I was like, I've never been to Los Angeles. I was like, if this is gonna be my one time to do something, this is it. So we did the Hollywood sign. We went to Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, all that. Like, we did like the 3-hour tour of, like, we went to see the Valley, like, all that stuff. Like, it was really dope. Like, probably one of the best tours I probably went on.
I did the Warner Brothers tour.
Yo, that shit looked hard.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm mad I didn't get to do that tour. So the reason, by the way, can a nigga get thank you for paying for giving me $50?
Listen, mind you, I asked so what was it, Tuesday or something? Because I knew he was leaving Wednesday. I said, Wilkins, are you sure you're gonna be able to do the tour? He goes, yeah, we're gonna I'm gonna do the media scrum thing early. It's early enough, and we could go. Okay, cool. Responsible adults. I asked again. I said, yo, are you sure? He said, yeah, I'll be able to make it. The day of that morning, because Wrestlemania was that Thursday night. I didn't fall asleep until, mind you, that was the same night I landed. So I landed literally 2 hours before the doors opened for Wrestlemania, and then haven't slept. And we didn't fall asleep until like 4 o'clock LA time. So this nigga calling me at 7 a.m. I get up to go and meet him. So I said, okay, I kept my end of the bargain. I showed up. This nigga here, I said, yo, listen, I'm going to head back now because we got our hotel room. I'm going to put my stuff in. We're going to get ourselves together. And I said, yo, just meet us in a half hour. Cool. Mind you, so the way the media thing ran is like, it was a room, but everybody was just rotating. So, like, Bianca hadn't even come around yet. Miz didn't even come around yet. Rhea didn't even come around yet when I left. So I said, all right, I know he's trying to get, at least Bianca, so I'm going to let him rock out. However he going to do it, I don't know if he's going to bombard someone's interview to do it, but he's going to figure it out. So it's like 11 o'clock. It's like almost 11:15. And I'm like, all right, we leaving. I said, come meet us across the street because I'm staying across the street from the Talent Hotel. Unbeknownst to us. But I said, all right, here. He didn't come. I said, I gave him the address to the place. I said, here, meet us there. We're like 5 minutes out. He calls me. He's like, yo, is the work still going? I said, well, because we already here. We not waiting for you. You're not about to fuck up this private tour.
So in my defense,
that's his fault.
I had to go see. I had to squash some beef.
He did. He definitely He righted all his wrongs this weekend.
I had to squash some beef,
starting with Shelton Benjamin.
No, I didn't. I told him I'm not gonna talk about it. So
fair.
No, no. You just said that the people that you squash beef with to show us that, yo, us black people come together.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't need to be. I get it, but it doesn't need to be talked about. But I had to take care of some beef issues.
Okay,
that was one. I had to make sure I talked to Bianca, even though I feel like I have low key heat backstage.
And they got heat with the office.
But they respect me enough that I'm black that she would talk to me because she gave me the look like, I know who you are. What up,
nigga? What up?
We cool, but
I done heard some shit.
But we alright. And she's OD professional, so that was why I was taking so long.
Fair.
And then, so then I left, and I was like, let me go to the superstore. I have y'all stuff, by the way. Okay, I forgot it at work. So I have your teddy bear, and I have your cup.
Okay.
So I had to go there, but I just felt there was work I had to get done for us.
No, and that's fair.
But then I had to make it up to myself because I was like, I worked the entire trip low key, and then I was like, let me do something for myself. So I did it on Monday. I did the Warner Brothers tour.
Yeah,
So they have a lot. And then you go through the lot, and then you can see
like the different sets, different shows.
sets that they did and everything. Like I tell everybody this. I knew Friends was huge. I didn't know how huge Friends was though.
Yeah, white people love it.
No. Black people love it too. Cause our sister loves that show. She's seen every episode at least twice. So I get to the set and I was like, yo. They had their whole set of the Friends show, the coffee shop, the apartment. It was a dope. Like I recommend anybody you go to LA.
Yeah, no.
Do the Warner Brothers tour.
Alex had said that to me before we left New York, and I was like, well, I won't have time because literally once the fireworks end of night 2, I was heading to the airport, so there was nothing else happening for me. But there was Friday, and then Friday night was SmackDown. Where it was the go home for WrestleMania weekend.
Conan did the best intro of all time.
Listen, if I need an introduction, bro, I need it from you, bro.
Did you watch it? Mm-hmm. So I was watching, and then like she played me though. I got her a ticket, and she didn't use the ticket.
I was tired.
It's fine. It's fine.
Emmy didn't. Oh, and you know what? Emmy didn't even get back until like midway through SmackDown because after the tour, me and Danny had went to Roscoe's. That's what it was. We went to Roscoe's, so I did do that.
What'd you get?
So I had got a 3-piece wings with a waffle and grits because I always judge a place by their grits. So
grits was good.
Grits was not good. It was all right. It had to be seasoned. After seasoning, it was fine.
Did you go to a hood spot, a hood Roscoe?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't do the like generic one. The waffle wasn't all that. Like Waffle House waffle is greater than that, hands down for me. But the chicken was good. But the real ticket of the weekend goes to Fixins in LA. That there was a soul food spot right by the arena.
So I ate Fixins. It was okay.
What? Yo, we had that shit right after NXT. Bro, I had the chicken, I had the mac and cheese, I had the collard greens, I had the Kool-Aid.
I thought Roscoe's that I went to was better. Ooh. I ain't gonna hold you because I had the Obama special.
I had looked at that too, but I
had the Obama special. It's a real ignorant.
What's in it?
It's just waffles and chicken. It's just waffles and chicken.
Nah, but that waffle wasn't hitting for me.
So it hit for me. It was hitting for me. Maybe we got different palates when it comes to waffles, but the chicken was good. Chicken was good, bro.
Obama then.
Huh?
What's going on Obama?
Oh, that's just the name of the. So what I realized was it rhymes with Amy Ruth. Yup, that's exactly. And Amy Ruth is better. I absolutely. But think about if you ever been to Amy Ruth and they have the obnoxious names for the actual meals. Oh, really?
You never been to Amy Ruth?
No.
All the times you go uptown, you ain't never been to Amy Ruth?
Because no one tells me these stuff.
Oh.
Listen, I go to all the hood spots. All the hood places.
Amy Ruth is in the hood.
It's in Harlem.
It's a hood staple.
Listen, nobody told me Amy Ruth, and now I'm going to Amy Ruth now.
Okay, thank you.
Take care of that. I went on a date there. It was actually pretty good.
You know what? I'll take Mariah there.
Yeah, she'll love it.
Amy Ruth. Right.
She'll appreciate it. But
so I did that. I went to Roscoe's after the media scrum.
Oh, okay.
On the first day, I went with shout out to Brian H. Waters. Those wrestling girls, Queen PR and Krista B. So I went with them on the set. The first day I did that. So I did Roscoe's, and then
SmackDown? Bobby Lashley being the newest name on the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Yo, when that nigga carried that shit out, I was impressed. I was like, what is going on?
It was a shame that he wasn't on the card. It was a shame that and I understand stuff happens, politics and stuff. It was a real shame that he wasn't on that card. Yeah. SmackDown, the go home show was good.
Very good.
Like I said, Conan literally had the best intro ever. One of the worst intros ever. Ric Flair to Muda.
Yeah. I don't even know what. First of all, they could have definitely got a translator for him. Like, but however, Muda's, that was the most graceful spit of mist I've ever. That nigga said, "I'm not gonna get this shit on my outfit though," because he definitely did that. It was so funny on TV. But no, Rick. I feel like that was a last minute thing. It was like, Rick, well, we know y'all got, y'all know each other from Japan, so
but
we just going. But it was just like, what?
It was all
like
about
it would have made. Rick made it about Rick.
It was all about him. I'm listening. I'm just like, yo, am I bugging or just?
I'm like, who's getting inducted?
Yeah. And he starts talking about the matches he had with Japanese wrestlers. I'm just like, this has nothing to do with Muda. He pulled out a list. He pulled out a piece of paper.
Oh shit!
And then he started talking about the matches, the greatest Japanese matches he's ever had.
That he's had. That
he
not
had. About who Muda had.
No.
That he had.
That he had.
And Muda was on the list. But it was about him.
It really should have been like Nakamura or something. Like it should have been somebody like.
It should have been Nakamura.
That really maybe would have been able to do a little bit more justice to it. But no, the Hall of Fame I think is dope. I think it did it like it did it justice. I think Stacey Keibler getting inducted was dope. Tim White, his brother looked just like him. I was like, oh my god, crazy, Jesus Christ!
I was getting teared up with that one.
Yeah.
That one was tearing me up because I don't know what button it hit on me, but I was just like, oh my god.
So and it's crazy because I always say one of the best documentaries that like I feel like in wrestling in general was that Andre the Giant documentary on HBO. Like if you have never watched it,
top 5.
I highly recommend watching that. It's one of the best ones. And Tim talks about like him being on the road and they all talk about like how it was a struggle to like really get him like through life because of his height and his weight and drinking all the time and suffering and not knowing how to cope with it. Like it's a lot.
That's why I be feeling bad about Omos. Like when you're after a certain height,
shit is just obnoxious.
Your life is different.
Like when they did the tail of the tape thing and his size was like 14 triple quadruple E. I was like, is that a thing?
Yeah, like
your shoe size.
Like it's ridiculous.
I know, like your bra size. Like
you look tall sitting
like that, but
he looks tall sitting. That's obnoxious.
And nothing is is made for you.
They came to the Mattel thing I did.
Yeah.
So
the Omos did?
Omos and MVP came. There was the guest appearances, and that was pretty cool too. Like it's crazy how far like action figures and like these have come because they got the set of the WCW set.
Ooh.
But it covers it's huge. It covers a table.
Oh shit!
Like it'll cover a whole table. So they crowdfunded. You ever heard what crowdfunded is?
Yeah, I know what
that is.
So they crowdfunded to get it. So they hit what they needed to hit. So you get a one free action figure with it once you order it. And then if they get even more money from the crowdfund, you get like another action figure, depending how they hit. But it's wild how they do it. So like you'll sit in like a booth and they take like digital pictures of you and then put it onto the toy, and then they don't carve all of them by hand. They carve it by like a 3D printer, and they'll carve it on the computer.
Michael's nephew has a 3D printer.
It's crazy.
It's the wildest thing. They did his first thing he did was Kirby.
Yeah.
Like it was the wildest. I was like, this 3D printing shit is like first world shit.
People make 3D guns.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can do anything.
It's the craziest thing.
It's the wildest thing.
And then I just kept asking mad questions because nobody else wanted to talk. There was like 20 questions. I asked like 5 questions.
As you should.
And because nobody else wanted to talk. And then, so we're doing the tour and they're showing us like the different. So they have on the tour, they have every like year and what they made that year. And then I don't know why I asked this question. I was like, hey, that year made double than this year. Why is that? The guy was like, what? It was like 1971 and 1972. And I was just like, he's like,
bro, really?
I should know that though.
It was a good. I was like,
it was a valid question.
As a tour guide, you should kind of.
I was just curious of why I made so much money this year and they made that much money the year after. But it was millions of dollars. I was like, all right, maybe I'll just shut up.
It was Hersey on my side while they made my neck hurt from looking up.
Nigga said.
Yeah, he's mad tall.
Oh, he's hella tall, like,
mad tall.
But super nice.
Super nice. Cause I think MVP had said it. one of the PR guys, really nice PR guy. He handles the talent. His name is Greg, and they were at Wrestlemania, and people kept asking to take pictures, whatever. And then Greg was like, "Do you want me to take you to the back or something, like so you won't be bothered?" He's like, "Listen, I've been this high my whole life. People want to take pictures. It's part of my job at this point. I'll just take pictures." But he did. So fast forward a little bit. So there was like a meet and greet type of thing at the bar, like with like influencers and like the because you had left already, and with like the wrestlers. So I'm talking to Omar. I was like, "Yo, you had a good match. You had a good match and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, man. So the IWC is gonna shut up now, huh?"
So he be watching our clips.
I send it to him.
Yeah.
What?
I really like this guy. I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
Like,
like, even when we saw him at Wrestlemania, he was like, "Oh, I know you guys," and I was just like, "Hey."
You almost had.
I'm a Homo sapien.
Almost Mark.
I'm a Homo sapien.
Homo sapien.
But all right, so that was Friday. All right, Saturday morning, NXT Stand and Deliver.
That was good.
Honestly, amazing. I was actually more rather surprised that there were like,
was it packed?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yo, it was packed. For an early morning show, that shit was packed. Wow. Like, from the floor to the top.
Really?
Yeah, it was. That was the first thing I told Danny. I said, when we sat in our seats, because I had bought the ticket that morning for $17. But when we was at breakfast, I bought the ticket. So when we got there, we was on the row. First of all, I did really good on tickets this weekend. Side note, but we was on the end row. We was 1 and 2. And we was in some like VIP entry section. It was wild. But no, top to bottom, it was like mad people was there that morning. It was 10 a.m. start time in LA, and it was packed. That's good. I was upset though that the Chase U match was on the pre-show. I didn't even know. Had I known that, I would have arrived at the time I arrived. But it was dope to see Chase U win. Mm-hmm. They opened up the show with honestly one of the best women's ladder matches I've actually been able to see and witness. Like, that was so good. And now the new NXT Women's Champion, Indy Hartwell, well deserved. About time, because she was the OG in the match, so I was really pulling for her. After that, I think they had the guys tag match. It was like a triple threat, and then the other guy from Gallus came back, so we saw that. And that was pretty dope. I'm trying to think what else happened. What other matches happened? Oh, the Johnny Gargano, Grayson Waller match.
Cool. I like that
match. I really like Grayson Waller, and I still stand by that. Like, Grayson really put
Grayson's the man.
Like, he put on all the stops on that one. Trying to think what else outside of the main event. We got new women's NXT Tag Team Champions. I just love the fact that to me, NXT is always quality over quantity. And I really get inspired by that, because, like, if you can get 6 quality matches in, like, 2.5 hours, it's worth it. Then you giving me 10 matches in 3 hours, and it doesn't have quality in it. So.
I'm really proud that they had a full house. Because when I went to NXT in Dallas, it wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't like that at all.
It was one side that wasn't like filled at all, like low key.
But I think it was their rebuilding phase. And then it was really, really dope to see that the brand is growing within their niche. And I enjoyed the fact that you said it was packed.
It definitely was
because I watched it when I got. Because I had to do the Mattel thing, so I watched it when I got back to my hotel. And the first match I went to was Carmelo's match.
We started from the bottom, now we here.
Yeah.
But as the main event, Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. So much storytelling, but I loved it. And we came out victorious.
Trick.
Trick with no shirt on all the time. But I'll tell you. So after his interview with Carmelo, and we were talking like off camera about, but I said, "Yo, I just got one question for you. It's been something on my mind, been wanting to ask. I said, whose idea was it to put you and Trick ass together? Because this nigga always got no shirt on. And whose idea was that? And you know who he said? Road Dogg. Said it was Road Dogg's idea. And after he said that, it clicked. I said, yeah, because it's very similar how New Age Outlaws kind of vibe, where you have the mouthpiece, you have the person that, you have the hype man, you know, it Road Dogg saw something that nobody else saw, because the issue was, you know, they wanted Trick on TV, they just didn't know how. So he said Road Dogg suggested to put the two of them together.
You know what's interesting? If Mello gets called up to the main roster and can keep what he's been doing, like people on his T-shirt calling hashtag him, all this other stuff, he will be way over.
Oh, he already over. He had people all weekend be like, him. I'm like,
but
yeah, I'm talking about.
Dang, we got to talk about WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Night 1 or night 2?
Well, let's start with night 1 since we were on Saturday.
So which one did you like better?
You know what? It's wild because both my night experiences were very different. They're polar opposites. For me, night 2, I felt like just flowed a lot better. Yeah. So where my intention kept throughout the whole night, where I didn't feel like that for night 1 as much. But I feel like also my location of where I was sitting affected that type of point of view too. Because night 1 I was in the suite, so it was just like it felt like a party. So I wasn't really paying attention as much. Huh?
What suite were you in?
Mania Club. Shout out to Mania Club. Shout out to Gary and Ashanti, founders of Mania Club. So yeah, I was in the Mania Club suite the first night, and it was dope. But then the second night, me and Danny was sitting like dead center, on the other side, like directly actually on the other side of the suite we was sitting at. So I was in the crowd that night, and that's why night 2 for me was a little bit different but just the pacing of the matches and how they flowed and the positioning of like Brock and Omar's opening night 2, it made so much sense.
Of course.
It was a best decision ever. The only one, once again, that I felt like the lackluster was the women's tag match.
Which one?
On night 2, like with Natty and all of them.
Both of them.
Like it just was. It was quiet. No reaction. No nothing. Like I actually felt like night 1's women's thing would definitely have more investment than night 2's. But
I mean, you got Trish and lead, of course.
Yeah, that Trish is a bad bitch. That's one bad. Listen. When I felt the Trish Stratus sphere about to come into play, I said I gotta get to Los Angeles because you know as a little girl you watch wrestling. You know, granted you don't really see as many women that look like you, but you do still see women doing it. And you know, growing up seeing Trish Stratus, you know, I never really visioned actually seeing her wrestle live and in color. So that was really my goal, you know, for the weekend was to see that. But what was your favorite night?
Night 2 was my favorite because of the first and last match.
They started out hot and they ended hot.
Yeah, but in the middle, like the whole meal, night 1.
Yeah,
night 1 for me was like meal wise was better.
I agree.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Hell in a Cell.
I actually thought it was great.
It was good, but I wasn't a huge fan of it. And I didn't get to see it to him because I was trying to like look for Simon Miller.
Shout out to Kyle. For me, the Hell in a Cell looking on TV is like.
Yeah, how did it look on TV?
No, everything looked great, but the Hell in a Cell, actually looking on TV, they did something that was genius. They put cameras in there.
Oh, okay.
They put cameras in the cell, so like you didn't look through the gate, nothing like that. So it came out looking great. So it looked great. But you know what messed it up? It was the pacing. They ain't cut the match short because Fid bled.
Well, yeah, because he got busted open from that ladder spot. I was like, oh.
And like I thought that how he got busted in his face. Now he got busted right here.
No, in the middle of his head. No, I knew it was the head. Because of how Edge threw the ladder, and I was like, oh. I knew the moment he threw it. I said, yep.
So that cut the match short. That definitely messed up the pace of the match. But I felt that if that didn't happen, it would have been a better match. But overall, it was good up until that point.
Yeah, honestly, because I had Dallas, that was 32 with Shane and Taker and Hell in a Cell. That's why I'm like, for me, and I was there. So like to see a second, like, to be able to compare a Hell in a Cell. That's why I was like, nah, this one with Edge and Finn definitely, I felt like carried the bar, carried it a lot better than
How was the audience when Shane got injured?
Yo, we were so sad. Like, it was the wildest reaction because, and that's the second time WWE's done that to me because I was there Rumble when he came out and everybody was upset, but I popped. So, literally, when I felt like most people thought Dwayne was going to pop out when Snoop said what he said. So, I was just saying here, like, I feel like everyone's about to be disappointed because I know it's not Dwayne. But I did not think it was going to be Shane motherfucking McMahon, though. That shit was, it was like, here comes, yo, that shit was hard.
Everybody went crazy.
It popped. And then, literally, when Shane popped on that second rope, I knew it was over. I said, no. I knew it was over. But, because I don't know if they panned the camera away from him.
They did.
Because they were trying to figure out, like, if he was, like, what was really wrong. And then they kind of eventually rolled him out.
But shout out to Snoop Dogg for, like...
But, yeah, Snoop fucking called that audible. They called that audible all in the ring. Because all that happened in real time.
Someone asked, what was your favorite entrances from night 1 or 2?
Favorite entrance of night 1? Oh, definitely Rey Mysterio. Hands down. Ray and Dom for me was probably one of the best matches of night 1.
My favorite entrance?
Yeah.
For night
Bianca
1. Bianca Belair was night 1, right?
Yeah, no, she was 2.
So night 2, altogether, night 2 for me, Bianca solidified herself as a megastar.
Yeah. That's the GOAT. Y'all can't talk to her no type of way. Y'all can't disrespect this woman no type of way.
I said one biggest entrance that disappointed me was John Cena.
Yo, I was so upset because
I was laughing.
Of course, you know my ass is CP all the time. So we get to the parking lot and it's like 5:00. So we're like, fuck, and we knew, and I was like, fuck, I know Jonathan Cena's on first. So we're literally, me and Danny are literally running to the, like, we're running to the suite because we're like, I don't want to miss his entrance. But I actually just felt like that whole situation was lackluster. Like, I didn't feel the emotion I felt. Like, I felt like the build-up was better than the actual match. And that's weird in itself.
That's because John was going home, B.
But it was a weird feeling. It didn't hit the way I thought it was going to hit.
I felt that Austin Theory, like, don't get me wrong, it was just like your big match John.
No, I think so. I think the match did what it had to do for Austin Theory.
But it didn't feel like a big match. Like, it didn't feel like big match John. Like, what I mean by that is, one night stand, he lost, but you still felt that he put on big match John. CM Punk, you felt he still put on big match John. This match, I felt that it was like a Raw match that he's like, whatever, shrug shoulders, nothing for this.
I mean, that's why he went on first.
Like, I felt that like, nobody's talking about that match.
No, it's unfortunate because what I did like in the middle of the show is that when they did the backstage segment, they did interview Austin Theory, and I thought that was dope that they did that. They did it both nights because they did it with Bianca night 2.
But guess what? It's not entering, though.
And no, but I like the fact, though, we can still get a backstage segment to kind of still extend from what just happened because you got to remember, if a 3-hour show, if someone's just tuning in, they might have not even saw the opening match. So for them in the middle of it to have an impromptu interview with Austin Theory and him talk about and him continue to low-key put himself over after the match, I appreciated that.
I mean, I agree with you.
In its value in itself. But in terms of really entrances, night 2 had the better overall. And they saved all the pyro budget for night 2. So.
But I felt that Eddie and Dom.
But no, Dom.
Ray
listen,
and Dom had the best entrance.
Ray could have never denied that child. When that nigga came out with that mask, he looked just like his father. I said, "Oh my God, who is that? Because that's not Ray. He taller." But it was so good.
It was a really good
entrance. It was so personal.
The entrance, the match was one of the best. Like,
it just was so good.
But imagine that feeling though. Like,
I get to have this moment with my child.
Right, at WrestleMania. And
you just got
and this is what this is why we taught this is that we could let me transition to Cody versus Brock. Cody versus Roman. Let me talk about that. You see how everybody talk about the whole story behind the Dom and Rey Mysterio, stuff like that, how you could go back and feel the emotions, how the whole arena reacted when he won. There was no boos. No boos at all. Dom got an entrance. It was boos. Now, for me, for Cody is the story wasn't good enough for him to win. What I mean by that is when Sammy lost, Roman took the whole air out everywhere, and he got booed. When Roman won on Sunday, none of the air came out the arena.
How was that the bar?
People was cheering.
Yo,
like,
that
they say 100 is the max. It was 730. Like 30, like the 30% kind of cheer, but then it kind of went down. They say, "Oh, Roman won." Throughout the whole night, everybody was talking about, I feel like Roman's gonna win, and people was like, "Kind of Cody won. I wanted to win," but like it wasn't that excitement behind there. So him winning, right? What does it do? Nothing. He has that warrant to get that W at WrestleMania.
So you know what's interesting? What people don't put like play on a little bit is how a person looks, and also because there was something online. People were like, "Yo, this hero arc, I don't like it." Like Batista never had to go through that. Other wrestlers and some other wrestlers that they mentioned didn't have to go through that. But I was like, do you see how Batista looks?
And Batista did have a hero arc.
Yes and no.
What I mean by that is it depends on who's like the point of view.
This is where I have to disagree with them because you forget it was a story from him being from Evolution.
Yeah,
and
but
him being the lackey and stuff like that. Him went into all of this to lead up to that. The story was juicy for him to win. Cody, for example, he was out, right? He came back, fought Seth in a Hell in a Cell, right? Seth beat him up. He came back, won at position 30. Even the road up until WrestleMania wasn't threatened because he didn't get beat up. He didn't get jumped. Where was his bloody moment? There was none.
But the thing about it, it's typical writing. And
I'm like, we haven't hit the climax yet.
Yeah, because when you think about it, let's look at Dragon Ball Z.
You gotta get used to this.
Second episode, let's look at the Cell Saga.
Yes.
You saw how long the Cell Saga was?
Come on, son. Come on.
Like, and it doesn't matter, like, whatever movie you're looking at or anything of that nature, the hero never wins after the first fight.
Very rarely. And if the hero does win, what happened? Another arc for him to face.
So and thinking about it, like, okay, so the fan in me, and it's interesting because I felt like the way that you said the bar reacted where they was excited, Roman, that when you have 80, listen, Cody Rhodes had 81,000 people by the chokehold. When I tell you from when he came out to when that bell fucking when that 1, 2, 3 pin count, when I tell you that air in that stadium got sucked the fuck up where everybody was stuck. Like even I was just like, what the fuck? But did they boo Roman though? Just happened? Yeah.
But did they boo him? How Sam got booed?
Yeah, like okay. So this is what I'm. So I don't know if you felt like that because you was there too, but I felt like the heat that he had was nuclear. Like that was probably the hottest I could have ever imagined them do Roman Reigns, and then the smartest thing happened because the fan of me was upset the entire flight home back to my red eye back to New York, upset like fuck, it's supposed to be Cody, but I get it, storyline, I get it, I understand it. The fact, like, this is talent. Like, we got to give props to Cody. We got to give props to Roman. We got to give props to Brock Lesnar. We got to give even props to Solo. We got to give props to Paul. The fact that the next night, not even 24 hours later, they can transfer that heat from Roman to Brock in such a strategic way, I was impressed. I didn't even think that was. I didn't think that was possible. The heat that Roman had Sunday night was literally uplifted, uprooted, and Brock Lesnar put that shit on his back and said, "I got it."
But
I'm impressed.
But
it's needed
not,
though.
But
it's needed.
I'm impressed.
I understand that, but Brock's not really gonna get booed. He just got booed for that night.
But
he
the thing about it,
that nigga double turn.
You have
on 2 different nights.
But you have to do that because you have to pull the rug under the person that's watching it. Because everybody expected him to win.
Exactly.
Because everybody's like, oh, it's in his contract. It's in his contract. Exactly. So this is it. And this is why I understand why some wrestling fans get mad at Vince or get mad at wrestling in general. fans are too smart now.
Yeah.
And there's too much information out.
Yeah. I agree.
When it comes to things like we're not in 99 or 98 where like one or two people know about what's going on behind the scenes.
No, everybody's pretty.
All
the information is accessible.
It's pretty accessible on that. Like a good 70% of fans know what's going on behind the scenes.
Right.
So if you already know that, quote unquote, it's been written in his contract for him to win the title.
Yeah, right.
Why you didn't give him the title right away?
Thank you.
Because and then also he gets the title. Now what?
I was just about to say this. It's the fact that when you watch television shows, right? Matter of fact, I'll give it to all the Star Wars heads. What was it? It's the second movie, the second original trilogy. This is the second movie. They all lost. The Empire won. It was called The Empire Strikes Back. The Empire won. It took everyone down. And what you did, you went to see the next movie to see how Luke Skywalker was gonna get his confidence back, how you get other people. That's how you tell a story. Like I think, like one thing I'm trying to realize about wrestling fan is, yo, at the end of the day, yes, it's still a sport, but it's a sport that they can manipulate. How would I get you to invest into next week? That's why I like wrestling fans who know don't mind nothing. They're very few. When I talk to them about my job, I feel like, oh, yeah, like, how can Cody recover from this, man? I feel so bad to his pops and everything like that. What he's going to do? You know what they do? They shut the fuck up and watch next week to see what's going to happen.
You watch the next night. But I think that was I think it was just getting over the initial shock. Because, like, literally everywhere I looked, everyone was just like, what the fuck just happened? And I think after getting over that hump and realizing, like, the story continues.
Thank
okay,
you.
What's next? And then you left SoFi Stadium, or you left Peacock, wherever you were watching. You left being more invested than where you came into it.
Let me ask you guys a question.
And I think that's worth it.
Let me ask you guys a question, right? The time that Cody came to WrestleMania, did he have a moment where, like, it made you want to cry? No. Did he have moments where, like, how that, yo, you want Fleck jumping the screen to help him out? No. He had no moments that invoke emotions. But the thing wait, hold on.
I think Cody just himself evokes emotion. I don't think the action.
Again, that's Cody himself, him as a person. I said events that make you want to invest into the story up until the rest. He had no thing that make you invoke emotions. Sammy, the whole drama at the button line, you felt emotions. There was a moment that niggas cried. When he won on Saturday, it was tearing coming out of a lot of people.
So I think now looking at it, I think it could have been a way where it possibility where Cody might have sacrificed that type of story to get, because remember, you still they had to figure out a way to still keep Cody strong, keep Cody in the highlight, keep him in the forefront. You still had to figure out that way. At the same time, still finish and figure out the right way for Sammy to finish his story.
But
so they both were it was happening at the same time. It just was because of Sammy and how the road of that was going, you were a little bit more invested in that.
It doesn't like I said before. All you did was rehash the whole story between. All you did is making it more put a bow on it. You didn't answer my question. What was the moment that made you want to give you emotions from Cody going to WrestleMania? When he comes back to WrestleMania, now no moments he gave you emotions.
When he won Rumble, it was for me.
But when
he won that, okay, fine.
And I was there.
Fine. Cody won that Rumble. He didn't come at number 1. He didn't come at number 2. He didn't come at number 5. He came
doesn't
out 30.
matter.
There's no struggle there.
There's people that's lost at 30. There's people that's lost Money in the Bank.
Where's the struggle? Where's the struggle?
But the thing
the struggle.
Wait.
The struggle was Sunday night.
But no. Take away everything.
Struggle.
I'm talking about the road up until that match. He had no real struggle. But he didn't have matches where like.
How would it look for the guy that the 2023 Royal Rumble winner to have a struggle?
Okay, simple.
Why would you do
come
that?
in at number 1 and 2?
No, but the thing is,
build that struggle up. But if you had no struggle going in there, you will keep them strong.
They're building the struggle now.
But the thing he's talking about before.
That's not the point. You're not listening.
No, I am. I'm just saying to you.
I said the road up until WrestleMania, he had no real struggle.
But
now after that, you creating a struggle, you creating a story, you making evoke emotions. That was the start to his. That was his hero arc. He came from the high. This is his valley right now. He gotta climb up there. But this is why Brock is important. And after that, to go back, it's long-term booking. If Brock never be Undertaker, he would not be Brock today. He needed that W to then he could create baby faces to get to the next level. So this is why. Hold on, let me cook. This is why Brock is the point to the story, because you need that big bad wolf. Because this nigga is a world destroyer.
But the thing about it, it's not even that. This is my thing. Cody wins, the fans were gonna turn on him.
I don't think that.
No, I am dead serious.
I don't think that.
Because the thing about it, they would have said he didn't deserve it. What nobody's really understanding, because when you look at it, my brother has a point. When you really look at the whole situation, this title would have been, if he had won on Sunday night, they would have said they handed him the title.
Because it was in his contract.
Because it was in his contract, and he doesn't deserve it.
Thank you.
That was the best move
Thank you.
WWE did of not giving him the title on April 2nd.
And on top of that, this way too. At the end of the day, why the fuck will you miss an opportunity to get this man to 1,000 days as champion? For what? To cut that shit short? This shit's organic how they did that shit. So you gotta tell the story long term. You got two stories out of it. You get a man who collapsed 1,000 days, and a man who's hunting for that title.
It's not even that. It's the fact there's too much money in it. There's too much money in Cody versus Roman.
Too much.
Because I'm gonna cut it short at WrestleMania, where I got Money in the Bank coming up. I got SummerSlam coming up. I have all these big events potentially coming up. Why cut it short? Like, I get it. Everybody wanted Cody to win. But when you really look at the whole situation, that would have been the biggest mistake. Because first, after a month, he would have point blank, the fans would have turned on him. Because the fans don't like he would have turned, it would have been the Cody from AEW.
Thank you.
Number two, there's too much money in that feud.
Thank you. Thank you.
Done correctly, this can go into SummerSlam. This is easily one that can be stretched out and go into SummerSlam. And I'm going to give you an example of what happens sometimes when the babyface gets it right away. Kofi Kingston. 100%, they couldn't have stretched that.
No.
They couldn't have stretched that.
No.
Him winning at Mania was one of the greatest.
Because he went through the gauntlet.
One of the greatest things happened. But the reason why it worked was because they kept denying him. But after that, it fell off a cliff.
Let me ask you a question. During the time his run up until WrestleMania, Cody, did you had a moment where, like, dang, you took a picture of his failure? He got a failure picture moment now after WrestleMania. Kofi had numerous ones, B.
The only reason why Cody worked up to a certain point was the Hell in a Cell match because he had the injury.
And what happened? He got hurt.
He got hurt, so now the fans are more invested. Like, yo, damn. But even after that, you looked online, people were still talking shit about him. Cody is not. Cody is very polarizing. Either you love him or you hate him, and it's so easy to hate this guy. So it's kind of iffy when it comes to him when you playing the game. I understand people wanting him to win. I definitely understand that part. But at the end of the day, I'm telling you, if he had won by Backlash, fans would have turned on him.
Let me ask you guys a question. Simple questions like this. Did anybody say they felt bad about Cody losing at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Yeah.
A bunch of people.
Absolutely.
People were mad as hell.
I'm telling you.
People were mad. Look,
faces of people were... I'm answering your question.
Go ahead.
I answered your question. Go ahead.
So, but the thing is, I was there with her. The stadium people were pissed, like she said. People were pissed. The entire arena was pissed, but it needed to happen.
My thing is, I understand the Pistons. I just think there's a difference between how when Sammy lost and Cody, because you felt it in your gut. You felt that, like, dang, that shit hurt. When Cody lost, it was just like, I hate this booking.
No, you felt that shit. You felt that shit. That you felt that shit.
People felt
you,
it, but
you
they
were
invested.
It was the think about when you go to Universal, and let's say you go to one ride and you're like, yo, this was a dope ass ride, but then you go the next time and the shit closed, and you're like, well, what the fuck just happened? I just was here yesterday. What do you mean? Like people, it was the same feeling. It might not have been the only difference is where Sammy lost was his hometown, so that is a bit of a different feel than that. But when you have I'm telling you, when that man came out from that ramp and the way that he did, when you have 81,000 people singing you out and you have them on a chokehold throughout the entire match.
I never said he wasn't hot.
No, I'm not saying you didn't or did. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying, when you have somebody that everybody was cheering for and he sat, and that's why I said, listen, you got to give props to everybody involved, because even from probably when it went off air, Cody was still in the ring, still in the middle of the ring by himself.
That's one moment he has to start off his hero journey. That's the one moment he has.
No, but it's what she's saying is that that's the feeling, and people did feel it. Like, you can't deny people felt it.
I'm not saying that no one felt you.
But the thing about it, listen, being there, you felt everybody disappointed. Okay. That disappointment was wild.
Okay.
But at the same time,
but here's the thing that people will say. Somebody keep on telling me there is no more story to be told, and that's the problem I have with people saying that.
There is plenty of story to be told. We all know that.
I just feel like, and this is what I noticed is nobody appreciate long-term booking. A lot of people, they say they do, but it's just like
people do because the bloodline has been really good. If the long-term booking is good, people are gonna appreciate it.
But again, people are real iffy and choosy because they want to Cody win at WrestleMania. But then there's like, when he wins, what is there left to tell?
But the thing about it, people, you still want people to talk about it.
And they did.
Because supposedly that's what they wanted. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, once you get past the immediate shock, because, like, once again, it was a shock. Everybody, like, was like, what the fuck just happened? Once you get past the immediate shock, you realize, like, nah, this is probably the best way to go about it, because we can get a lot more out of it. Like when when you're in that moment, like when I was in that moment, everybody texted me like, because literally every WrestleMania I've been to, fucking Roman has won, and I'm sick of it. So like everybody texted me, and I'm like, I'm in my feelings. I'm like, fuck, I came out here, I wanted to see Cody have his moment, he didn't. But then when you get through that initial phase and you get through that, and you're like, okay, the next night on Raw, you're like, all right, where do we go next? Let's just watch and see.
So what do you think about Vince being head of creative? Because you mentioned the next night on Raw. What do you think about that? Didn't mean to cut you off, but
no.
I think that goes into what you're saying.
That's the hard part. It's like I don't know. Like, you have everybody saying this, you have everybody saying that. Like, do I think Vince has a part in certain things? Yes. Do I think like he's head still? I don't think he's gonna go the day to day. I don't think he's gonna do that. Like, I think the bloodline storyline, I think he definitely has his hands. Like, that's Vince McMahon blueprint 101. Like, that's his baby probably. So he probably wants to see that through, and that's understandable. And even to Brock being involved now, like that, it didn't make sense, but they're gonna make it make sense. We're gonna see. And I think, as you mentioned, as wrestling fans, we just have the tendency of not waiting and letting shit just play the fuck out. Like, I was upset, but now having the possibility of seeing Cody versus Brock Lesnar, I'm like, well, sign me the fuck up.
That's a backlash, bro. That's going to be a
sign me up.
But the thing about it, you see what I'm saying, is that how the money can be made more. It's like when you're doing your bookings for Battle Club Pro with, what's the next show called?
Women Crush Wednesday. Next
WCW next
and
Wednesday.
Then the following Friday, Ante Up.
Ante Up. So you got 2 tickets coming out. Then Jobber Slam.
July 29th.
July 20th. I already put it out there.
Don't forget.
Simon versus Sir Wilkins. Deuces.
See how you play y'all. How
we back, niggas. I saw that nigga.
That nigga came out of retirement in 2.5 seconds. You see
I saw him at WrestleMania, and I said, "What up, nigga?" He said, "What up?"
And there's money in that match.
But anyways, JobberSlam 4. Make sure you there. But
It's 4?
No, it's 3.
It's 3.
Oh, it's 3. Oh,
I'm saying here like 4. Like
why you put JobberSlam 4 then?
Who put 4?
It's 3.
It's 3.
Jay, it's 3. It would have been 4 if COVID wasn't a thing.
Yeah. So, but anyways, just to go back. So, I'm really excited about the Endeavor takeover.
Okay.
Not with Vince being in charge. I think it's at a better place with Hunter, regardless. I think, honestly speaking, I said this before. Vince McMahon, GM of Raw and SmackDown. You get the talent, you put them in. Triple H, coach. You do the day-to-day activities. You take care of things. And I'm really starting to think that Vince McMahon is Jerry Jones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vince McMahon is Jerry Jones reincarnated into professional wrestling.
Okay.
Multi-millionaire, knows how to come up in the game,
Zero
fucks, but can't let go. And I'll tell you this. I know people that used to work for WWE, and they've told me Vince is great, but he's outdated with some things, the way that he maneuvers things. That's the only real issue that people have, is that he's still stuck like 20 years ago. So you got to evolve. And I don't think, and it's because, bro, you're like, what is he, 80 now?
About to be.
He's about to be 80.
70s.
Like you're gonna be stuck in your ways.
Let it go, bro.
But the thing about it, I think he'll be a great GM, evaluating talent, bringing talent on, and stuff of that nature. And then Triple H runs the show.
But how can you get somebody who's stuck in his old ways? Is not evolving with the times.
He can't be running the show completely.
Yeah,
and I love Vince.
Can't have control.
Y'all already know how I feel.
Listen,
how me and Janelle feel.
Y'all know
I love Vince.
Some daddy Vince.
It's the pacing of Raw wasn't great.
But all I'm saying is this way. Carrying on is, this is the first time in history that Vince has a boss.
But the thing about the boss, said WWE takes care of that.
You don't think that how, hey, I'm gonna give it time from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, right? That's compared. They give the same exact time that Triple H has it. Let's say Vince runs it, whatever, right? And everything goes down, money wise. You don't think that they're gonna step in after a while? Say, yo, what the fuck y'all doing? How come like before you came back into Power Creative, everything was booming, and now you come back in there, we losing money. We're not making the same exact money as before. Vince has a boss now. He never had a boss before, and this is what people fail to realize. And I said this before, and everybody just said whatever. WrestleMania was the last WWE run WrestleMania, right? And I predicted that, and I said that.
It is.
Okay.
It's owned by Endeavor.
So hold on. But before you continue, what is your pushback on that?
I don't know. Like, I don't like with Triple H opening Raw the way that he did, saying WWE's not going anywhere, and just kind of that a little smidge of reassurance. Like, I think the merge is definitely, I think it's a great business thing. I think it puts more eyes on the product. I think it gives them a different platform. I think it opens the door for different things to happen. I think it gives wrestling another level of credibility. I think a lot of positive can come from a merge.
You believe in Triple H?
I just think that I don't know. We just gotta kind of wait and see. I don't know.
But that doesn't change the fact that it's not owned by WWE no more. But on the stock market, they don't have it change up everything.
No, but
you
didn't
say nothing.
No,
like,
but
wait, hold on. Hard, like, she didn't give me pushback because I said this is the first time WWE is not run by WWE, and after she said, what's the pushback? You didn't say nothing. I'm waiting for the pushback.
There's none. Go ahead.
But the thing about it is run by WWE.
But it's not owned by WWE. You're missing the point what I said.
I understand that you're saying that it's not owned by WWE, but it's still run by WWE.
I never said that won't be run by WWE.
It's not owned. But at the end of the day, it's still a WWE product because they said, even if they, maybe that might change, that we're not touching that. Which is the smartest thing to do. I've heard, because most people, 80% of people don't understand professional wrestling.
That's going. You literally are not. I feel like kind of y'all just saying whatever today, because you're not listening to what I'm saying. Y'all keep on saying day by day. Okay. That's not my point. My point was, it's not owned by Vince no more. It's not owned by the McMahons no more. It's owned by another company. That's my point.
It's co-owned. First of all, it's co-owned because they own 51%. Vince owns 49%.
Sure, whatever.
So it's co-owned. So now what you're saying is that the branding purposes is that Endeavor is part of it. Yes, you are right. You are right. It's not particularly owned by WWE 100%.
Then let me get the ball back.
But at the end, but let me finish. But at the end of the day, it is still run by WWE. It is 49%. They own 51%. What Endeavor's probably going to do is blow WWE to another place. Because what they did for UFC these past 7 years, UFC, 7 years ago, UFC was cool. Like, it was dope. Now, UFC is hot. It is a hot product.
That was never my point.
So what is the point?
That was never my point.
What is the point?
Go ahead. You want to run the offense? Take the ball.
What was your point? So, okay, with Endeavor being there, it's a great thing to have right now. And the fact that, but it's still like a little iffy because you're like, yo, because you talked about Triple H coming in and was like, yo, hey, things ain't going nowhere. This is the same man that sat with Triple H. It was Triple H, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Stephanie McMahon, and was like, things are going to get better story-wise. Shit didn't get better for like a year. Y'all all remember that. These two people stood in that ring. They both were like, yo, my bad. It was like, you're in a relationship, right? This shit is toxic.
Yeah.
And then Shorty comes to you, was like, nah, I'm going to be better. We all were in our living rooms or in that arena, and we got gaslighted by the McMahons and Helmsleys.
But you have to understand, that's the first time they ever did that, though.
I do not care.
So, but understanding that if they never did that before, they did something new, you got to give them benefit out. And we did, and it made us look stupid.
Because they gaslighted us. Wrestling is a very abusive relationship.
Trust issues out the ass with wrestling.
But what if it was the Obama effect? Where like how they did start changing, but Vince had the final say. How can you change when the old guard's still there? How you do something different when the old man saying that no, I like stuff this way.
I understand that, but Vince said it too.
This is the same man that looked at Bret Hart and said that I'm not going to screw you over.
We got gaslighted. Vince McMahon, I love him. I fucking love Vincent Kennedy McMahon. But he treats me like shit.
He Joe Biden us. You mean that he used government and us? The government lies to us all the time.
We're in an abusive relationship with WWE. Listen, she was at WrestleMania. She felt the type of way about Cody because they made us believe Cody was going to win.
Is not the point?
I understand it, but that's toxic.
That's not toxic.
Yes, it is gaslighting.
No. At the end of the day, between real life emotions and this is entertainment.
We understand that. We understand that, and it's still gaslighting because we were supposed to be in love. We in love with this storyline with Cody.
Are you?
And then what happens? They pull the rug up from under us.
They said, nah, fuck all that.
We all should be in wrestling therapy.
Really? I need a break.
Y'all two need to be wrestling therapy, not me. Because I separate the shit.
I need a break. So
It's toxic. The people in wrestling are toxic.
Yep.
Remind me of church.
Say that louder.
The fans are toxic.
Yeah.
The storylines be toxic.
Yeah, problematic.
The moves that you take in the ring be hurting.
I know.
Speaking of hurting, please Everyone, keep Dante Martin in your prayers and speedy recovery. Thank you.
But all I'm saying is this. It's the end of anything. All I'm saying is this. Cody winning does not look sexy compared to Roman having a 1,000-day reign.
Yeah, I'm with him on that one.
Yeah, I can have that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
how you gonna do investors? All right, he won. Which one sounds more sexier? I won from my daddy, or I dominate everybody for 1,000+ days.
That's how you presented it. Like, I don't think he was winning it for his daddy. Like, he's winning it for himself. Like, he
says it, and someone said it on I do.
He says every week, I don't want to talk about my daddy. So how are y'all gonna sit and say,
I gotta? Because,
I'm winning it for my daddy
because my family.
He says every week, I don't want to stop talking about my dad.
But what happened? I gotta win this to bring gold to the roads because nobody in my family won it before. Which one sounds better? This man hey, you know what? Hey, I left this company, I came back, got my rep up and came back, and now one title that escaped our family, WWE Championship. Or Roman, I beat cancer. I beat cancer when the brand was dying. I put the brand on my back. I put my
That's a bit.
I put my cousin on. I put the white man on to work for me. I give him money in his pocket. I put like a Muslim on my team at one point that betrayed me. And then what happened to him? The Muslim brother got his own shot at WrestleMania, main event to WrestleMania night 1. And on top of that, I went across the seas and first time ever had a stadium against me. You know why to me Roman is better than John Cena? Because John Cena lost the big match. He lost that one night stand. He lost at Chicago. You feel me? He lost against The Rock. Roman,
he got his lick back though from Rock.
Doesn't matter. He lost the first time around.
It does matter.
It doesn't matter because nobody. Only reason why people talk about that second match because they lied to us. Overall, Roman came and smashed people. So Cody winning, what does it do for what does it do for a new company that you just bought? Roman with his family like this, family, but where's Cody family? Oh, he has little baby girl. Nah. When you have legacy behind you, we have legacy of champions. And this man been a champion for how many years? And come on, B. And Roman is a person of color? Come on, B. Come on.
He is a person of color.
Come on. And you try to divide that true diversity by a woman, a person of color as a champion? Come on.
But you also got to understand, you got to acknowledge your tribal chief.
That's it.
You got to put the ones up,
He smashed everybody.
But the thing about it, you forget
days.
the biggest thing. Tag team wrestling main event in night 1.
For the title.
Thank you, Roman.
Because of Roman.
Sami Zayn's the first Muslim to main event WrestleMania.
Thank you, know what he wanted to be? During Ramadan.
Hold on. Thank you, Roman.
Thank you, Roman.
The Usos are a Hall of Fame level now.
Thank you, Roman.
Jey Uso is a.k.a. main event Jey Uso.
Thank you, Roman. Come on. Solo. Up and coming in all the big matches. Thank you, Roman. Paul Heyman. Yo, he was flat after Brock Lesnar. It was busting what you could do with Brock Lesnar. But he gave a new life.
Thank you, Roman.
Come on.
Thank you, Roman. Because listen, you got to acknowledge the tribal chief for taking care and being the head of it. Because the head of that table, the table's full with food. Everybody eating.
Puerto Rico. Come on.
Come on. To Puerto Rico, B.
Come on.
We go to Puerto Rico.
All the ones up.
Yo, listen, if we get B. Nickel, all three of us go to Puerto Rico. That's a cheap trip. That's a cheap trip, B.
Thank you, Roman.
That's a cheap trip, B.
Come on, thank you, Roman.
We're going to stay at the hotel together.
Yes. Thank you,
We're all
Roman.
going to be there. Highest gates ever for WrestleMania.
Thank you, Roman. Come on.
Come on, dog. Yo, Janelle.
Come on.
Put the ones up, Janelle.
He talk trash during matches. You know, he sells. He busts out mad different moves at different times. Thank you, Roman.
Thank you, Roman.
The bus driver that was driving him around. Thank you, Roman. Come on.
Put the ones
Households are eating because of Roman.
Thank you, Roman.
Thank you, B.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up. Thank you guys for joining us on
and
this
thank you, Roman Reigns.
live.
Thank you, Roman Reigns.
Thank you to those that are on the live feed that have joined us.
And also thank you, Roman, for listening, too.
For commenting in the middle of the day. We appreciate you. We love your support. Can't thank you guys enough. We'll be back at Legends for Backlash. May 6th. Sorry.
When is All Elite? It's All Out.
All Out is the same. It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah. Got the Roman for that too. Thank you, Roman.
Until next time, guys. I'm Janelle from HR. What's up, Wilkins and Mr. Black. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag.
It's over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.